Hello, friends. Happy Monday. I don't know if you heard Rue, but she says hello as well. Sorry I'm starting kind of late today. I literally got home like 15 minutes ago, so hi. Rue is very excited. She's a little upset that I'm streaming and not paying attention to her. Yeah, hi. I hope everybody's having a great day today. My hands are freezing, and I can't wait to get back into some drawing with this. I did the line art and stuff over the weekend. Rev, hello, welcome on in. Glad to have you here. We're going to be doing super chill art stream today. I'm working on what's going to be an adoptable design at some point. This is something that I've had planned and wanted to work on for a while. And I'm kind of only just now getting the chance to sit down and do it. I think I actually want to change... I think I want to change the line art color. Let's see. But this is for a homebrew race that I collaborated with a friend on. I'm not going to give too much away until we like officially release everything. Aratner, hello, welcome on in. Yeah, we it's cold in this office, and I was outside for a little bit today before I got home, so my hands are just kind of getting back on the same page with temperature. But how are you? How have you been? I'm not going to be giving too much about this homebrew race away, but I'm going to be giving a little bit, little sneaky peekies as a treat. Just because it's been so damn long since we finalized everything, and I just have not genuinely had the chance to get around to doing this. And I told myself that I didn't want to fully release anything without the like proper art to go along with it. So that's what we're trying to accomplish today while I have the chance to, because my commissions closed yesterday. And I have unfortunately not had the chance yet to sit down and send out emails, but that's what I'm going to be doing after stream today. So that will be the winter commissions, and then hopefully I will be able to have spots open again, another batch of them towards the spring. At the very least, if not the spring, like late spring, early summer is kind of my time frame that I'm aiming for, because springtime does kind of pick up a little bit at my day job, and I don't like making people wait on me for terribly long. All of my clients in the past have been extremely understanding, and I am blessed to have them. But you know, just trying to be realistic about timelines, and also trying not to overextend myself like I super did last year, and that's why I only opened my commissions once last year, because I bit off more than I could chew. Doing pretty well, actually. Moving to my first college dorm Wednesday. That's exciting! I remember my freshman year of college. It was, as somebody who up until then was very, very introverted and socially awkward, it was terrifying, but whoo buddy, it's a good time. It's a good nervous, you know? I plan to save up for whenever you open them again. I really want one of Rosona. I would love to draw Rosona. Am I pronouncing her name right? I hope I am. Rosona? But yeah, my goal with these is to open them at least 3 times a year this year if I can. And realistically, the only way I can see myself being able to do that is to be taking on fewer at a time. It also helps that this time around there weren't nearly as many. Actually, I don't think I got any party commission requests versus last year, where I think at least half of them that I ended up accepting were party commissions, which takes up a significant amount of my time. So, yeah. And that is not to make it sound like I am not grateful, because I absolutely am. But I also have a hard time telling people no. And that usually gets me into trouble. Yeah, you gotta take what you're comfortable doing. Yeah, exactly. And I think I've got it down to a pretty good system with my waitlist. Last time I didn't put a cap on my waitlist, though. I just put a cap on the amount of slots that I was accepting at a time, and then going down the waitlist, pretty much first come, first serve basis. After I was done with once the slot would open up, I would contact the next person on the waitlist. This time around, I think I'm going to be even putting a cap on my waitlist, just because I feel like I was making people wait a really long time last time, like a couple of months at a time, and nobody complained about it, but you know, and I didn't take any payment until I started their work, but I don't know. I worry about everything. I worry about everything. Man, it is stupid cold. Okay. So I think I don't really have any major parts of this planned specifically except the wings. So everything else is just kind of whatever. We're gonna figure it out as we go. So like, there's probably gonna be a lot of changing of the color palette as we go. But so this homebrew race is based off of the Fae. So it's basically characters that have Fae lineage. And basically, my inspiration behind it was I wanted an ASMR with butterfly wings. Is really what that boiled down to. And then I was like, well, maybe I should come up with a lore reason for them to like have butterfly wings. And then I was like, just make a whole race. Who cares? Just make a whole new one. And then I did. And I asked for help collaborating with a friend who is also very much into that kind of stuff. And it was a good time. It's good to figure out what works for you, though, so if that takes a couple tries to figure out what works, that's alright. It's vastly better than what I used to do, which was just open commissions all the time, and I kind of said yes to everybody and didn't really have a very good grasp of how long things take me. And it wasn't as bad. This is gonna sound terrible. It wasn't as bad because a lot of the people commissioning me at the time were very good friends, and there still are. A lot of my friends are extremely supportive. But it was one of those things where I felt a little bit more comfortable, like, taking my time, but then that just kept building up, and I kept having too many things to do at one time, and it was just a hot mess, so I don't do that anymore. And then for a short amount of time, I had just a Google Doc form, and I didn't really like that because it pushed people away from the website that I am paying to have hosted and built, like that I manage and pay money for. So I was like, well, I can put the form on my website and push people there, and then that ended up working out really nicely. And so far, it's not terribly confusing, and people understand what they're supposed to do, and it makes sense, and that's good. And I haven't really had any complaints so far. Alright, I think I want their hair to be darker, and I think I want like an ombre of maybe this teal up here, because this teal is going to be an accent color in the wings, and I think it'd be really nice to mirror that in their hair, maybe. We'll see. We'll see if we like how it turns out. And I think at some point this year I want to I really want to start using Clip Studio Paint. I have it purchased. It's purchased, it's downloaded, it's set up. I just am a creature of habit, and it's very difficult for me to break that habit. And a lot of what I was working on before, it was all commission work. So I didn't really want to I didn't want to stray too far from my norm when somebody is paying for, like, if somebody has a specific expectation in what they're paying for, you know? But some of the folks that I am probably going to be accepting the commissions of might be okay with me being a little bit more experimentational, but we'll see. If not, I do want to start doing more personal work anyway, which is also part of why I'm taking fewer commissions at a time, because it's been a bit since I have done a personal piece for myself. I mean, shit, it's been a while since I've just done fan art of anything. Like, I used to crank out Critical Role fan art constantly, and I have not made Critical Role fan art in months, if not a year, if not over a year. Oh yes, I did forget that one of the things about doing this line art the way that I do is the ends of it get a little crunchy. So I am going to have to go in and clean up around the lines a little bit, just because of how it's textured. And when I do the fill, it doesn't necessarily... There's a way around it, and I just forgot to do it. Because I was rushing when I realized I would only have like 10 minutes before I needed to get streaming by the time I was home. Oh, and I am going to mention it at the end of stream too, but I am not going to have a Wednesday stream this week because it's my husband's birthday, and I'm going to be spending the day with him. So what I might end up doing is, depending on how my Friday goes, I might do a cozy game stream on Friday, or I might do a stream on Sunday. We'll see how my schedule ends up working out. We shall see. I think what I'm actually going to do right now, which might be a little bit boring to watch, and I apologize in advance, but I am going to go through and just clean up these lines a bit, because that's just going to be a constant issue as we go coloring in stuff, and it's not really going to look like much changes right now, but I promise once I go in with flat colors, it's gonna be different. I'm not worried about that color shift because this is not going to be the final line art color anyway. How was everybody's weekend? I hope it was good for everybody. Anybody do anything fun or have any games that they played? We finally got another session in for our Dragon Lords game, and it was a lot of fun. I miss being able to play my hot bard. I know this part is not very interesting. I'm just going over lines and you can't even really see a difference, but I promise it's making a difference. I got to see my GFs on my weekend, ended up being good. Oh, I'm so glad! That's awesome! Did you guys do anything fun? Like a movie or something? That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Sounds like you had a good weekend. I did. It was very productive. Very productive. I did a lot. I did a lot of chores. A lot of chores and a lot of meal prepping and a lot of stuff that just needed to get done I didn't have time to do earlier in the week. A lot of adult bullshit. It was cold and rainy here, so we ended up staying in and watching a movie. Aw, that's wonderful. I'm so glad. I love to see it. That is awesome. Chores are good. I felt very accomplished by the end of them. I'm just very sick of doing laundry, but I mean, who isn't? Nobody tells you that, like, a good 3/4 of adulthood is just doing your laundry all the fucking time. Went on a nice bike ride and played games with friends via Discord. That sounds like so much fun! That's awesome. Understandable, yeah. I just realized that, like, weekends kind of have to be my house sorting days, where I do all my chores and cleaning and meal prepping and stuff, because the rest of the week I don't really have time between streaming and games that I'm in, because I'm in 3 campaigns currently. Well, one is every other week, but still. Yeah, my weekends are my chore days too. Even in, like, the before times, that's just kind of how it was. My husband and I don't really go out much, like, even before everything. So, it's nice to just chill over the weekend too. Nothing crazy. Alright, we're almost done with this, and then I swear we're gonna go back to the fun part with colors. I promise. And there's inevitably some spots that I probably missed, but you know. And there's also some spots down here that I need to clean up, actually, because... Oops. There we go. All better. Okay. Are you rolling around on my printer? Nobody can see you being so cute. Of course, the one time that I have my camera facing this direction while I'm drawing, because normally I have it on the other monitor, but I got home late and I didn't have the time to swap it over. Normally you'd actually be able to see her rolling around like that because you would be able to see my printer, but now you can't. And of course, that's when she decides to be cute. Of course. I'm sure she planned it that way. She was very upset when I got home late and then immediately came up here to not pet her. Rue was not a happy kitty. We're almost done. I just need to do this wing and then we'll go back to colors. That's how it always works. It's like she knows. Yeah, you. She's giving me the stinky face. And if I had to guess, I would say that Whiskey is probably downstairs on the couch with hubby. because he loves couch snuggles. I'm actually gonna erase some of that. I will say I am excited for this new batch of commissions. I missed drawing other people's I miss drawing other people's D&D characters. Not that my commissions are ever exclusive to D&D characters, but like I would love to draw somebody's like Final Fantasy character or like any OC really. But I do enjoy D&D more, I feel like. The like, you know, the fantasy sort of designs. Alright, we're almost done. It's super annoying too because there's like literally one button that if I clicked it when I made the selection, I wouldn't have needed to spend all that time doing that. But it's fine. Okay. Now what I want to do is I kind of want to see how this teal... Oh, that's going to be annoying, isn't it? It's going to be kind of messy for a second, but I kind of just want to see if the color works. I do kind of like that, actually. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with that. And then I'll just clean that up. Which might require a little bit more blending because it's probably not going to play nicely with the gradient. But that's okay. It's fine. There we go. We're just gonna do some blending. Oops. There you go. And we're gonna do the same to the other side as well. I'm not terribly worried about it being a little bit messy. Actually, what I will do is, because hair doesn't really make gradients quite like that, and it'll be a bit more realistic once I actually go in and like shade everything. But having a little bit of texture to work with underneath like this, I think is just going to make it look a little bit more believable. Just a little bit. Like that. And some of it might get over blended out later, but that's okay. Really just doing it for the texture. Yeah, like that. I'm gonna save, because if I don't remember to save, it won't be a good time. Alrighty. Now I think I want to do... So I kind of already know the gist of what I want the, like, accessories on this character to be color-wise. They're kind of just... I don't want to say typical colors, but typical colors. I want to keep the... Hi, baby. I want to keep the, the accent color's pretty neutral, because I think I found a pattern that I might want to make the like shawl sort of wrap going on here. And I don't want any of the accessory colors to detract from that. So I'm keeping them pretty neutral. Although I'm not sure. I'm probably going to throw down some color for these like leg warmers, with the understanding that I will likely change the color later depending on what colors I go with for the main top color. And I don't think I did the insides of these, but that's okay because we can just go ahead and do this. I think I missed some spots. You know, if I wasn't so pressed for time before starting, I probably would have thrown on my hoodie because it's fucking cold. Just in case, because I genuinely don't remember if I did the interior of here. It doesn't look like I did. Okay, there we go. There we go, there we go. It's fine. Everything's good. We're gonna take that and we're gonna darken it. And I think I want it more towards there. And then that's gonna be the interior. That actually might be too dark. Maybe like that. Let me see if I like that. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go with that. I think that's a good color for now. Take a moment and grab your hoodie. I might honestly. Like, I don't have any of my fans on right now. It's like 25 degrees and the heat is on, but it's very drafty in this office. I keep calling it an office. It's a spare room, but we use it as our office. Obviously, you can see by my husband's stuff back here. I'm definitely not going to be able to get this done on stream today, but that's okay because maybe we'll save it. Maybe I'll do my studio Sunday this upcoming Sunday and we can finish it then. Because we won't have, I'm trying to keep pretty steady schedule, and there are a lot of like games that I've been wanting to play. So, and like Mondays and Wednesdays are kind of the only days I can consistently stream. So I figured Mondays will be my art days and Wednesdays will be my my gaming days, with at least one Sunday a month being like a studio Sunday. So there would be like 1 week during the month where you'd get 2 art streams and 1 gaming stream. And that is of course subject to change because I'm not consistent, but I'm trying my damnedest to be. Hi. She's cleaning herself very loudly. I think I want... When I first drew this outfit, I kind of thought that like the undershirt would be darker, but I kind of want to see how it looks light. We'll see. Another thing I want to do this year is get better at color. It's so easy when like for a commission, because normally like 99.9999% of the time, I'm handed the colors that everything is supposed to be. And that makes it very easy. And then there's times like this where I get to make it up as I go, and that's when I realize I'm not very good at that. And a lot of the time what I'll do is I use, first of all, I use a ton of references, and then I usually pick like, there's like color palettes and swatches and stuff that you can find on like Pinterest, and there's a ton of websites specifically for color palettes. And I just abuse those. That actually might not be the color that I want. Let's see. Could maybe be the same. Similar but warmer to the boots. Yeah. Okay, I do like that color. Can't see much of the belt, but that's okay. I also found some very good advice on Twitter when it comes to making adoptables, because I'm still pretty new to doing that. It was something to the effect of, don't make a design to sell that you would never in a million years draw a second time. Or in other words, like, don't make something extremely complicated that, like, if another artist got this as a commission request, they would be like, really? And as somebody who sometimes doesn't know when to stop when it comes to character designing, that is something that I'm going to try to keep in mind. And now I'm going to pull up the thing that I was potentially going to base this off of. And now I'm having second guesses. Ooh, you know what I could do though? I could maybe just swap those colors. Maybe. You know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the wings. Because the wings, I think, are going to affect what color I end up making that shawl. So. Two machine, yes. Exactly. Alright, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna cheat, and I'm just gonna do the one, and then we're gonna copy and paste it to the other side when it's done. Because why wouldn't I do that if I have the ability to? Oh, you know, there is that nice red. We might end up doing something with that. We might end up doing something with that red. Like, filling in everything when I don't mean to. And I think I actually want this to be... Yeah, baby. Do you want out? No. Hi. What's up? She just wanted me to acknowledge her, I guess. So these wings are... I'm basing them off of... Let me see if it actually has the... No, of course it doesn't. It's based off of a butterfly. I found it on Pinterest, so of course it doesn't actually have the name of the damn butterfly anywhere. But the main thing about this homebrew race is that the wings, depending on your sub-race, are based off of butterflies, moths, and or sort of more natural elemental forms and shapes, which is something that I really wanted to incorporate. Something that I really wanted to incorporate into this homebrew race is customization ability. Ooh, that's a good word. That's a big word. I basically I didn't want it to be like, they can only be monarch butterfly wings, and they can, I don't know if you can hear her, but she's being very sassy. Or they can only be this type of moth. Like, I want it to be very generic and open to interpretation. And I want people to be able to have fun with them. Alright, here we go. We're gonna try to make sense of these wings. What I think I'm gonna do first is, that's gonna be a different layer. And then we're gonna do, so what's kind of nice about, oops, it's kind of nice about insect wings. Oh, and that's the other thing, the more elemental side, it could also be more like bug wings, like if you wanted to have dragonfly wings or bumblebee wings. That's kind of the sub race that would fit into. What's kind of nice about insect wings is they are sectioned. It's just a matter of following those sections accurately. And I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to try to get it close enough so that it looks nice. Because I could sit here all day trying to make this perfect, or I can make it look interesting. And that's another thing that I'm trying to do in this wonderful year of 2022, is settle for not perfect, but interesting when it comes to the stuff that I draw. Because I'm a Virgo, if you couldn't tell by the everything about me. So I am a little bit of a perfectionist, and I always have been. And it's always been a huge hurdle of mine, to kind of like a personal hurdle to kind of overcome. And I'm hoping that by like actively giving myself permission to just have it be interesting and not perfect will help with that. I don't know that that makes any sort of sense. I hope it does. That being said, I don't think I want this here. Let's see. Some of the spacing on that is not correct, so I'm gonna do some adjusting. I don't know, I've just always loved like the aesthetic of bugs. Don't get me wrong, I don't like bugs, but I like the aesthetic of bugs. So okay, I think that's good enough. And then this one kind of goes this weird like pointy bit here. I will say, as gorgeous as like dragonfly wings are, holy hell are they a bitch to draw. Like they're so intricate. Gorgeous, but intricate. Okay, so this does kind of go like that. And this one kind of goes like that. There's just so many lines. What I try to do though is I try not to look at them as lines. I try to look at them as the shape that the lines are making. And that does make it a little bit easier. I think that looks good. Now we're gonna go over top of it. The wings are gonna, admittedly, the wings are gonna have a lot of layers to them right now until I am happy with how they look. Alright, we're gonna start with, yeah, I think I want to start with this color. We're gonna start at the bottom because the bottom ones are a little bit, well, they're a lot more simple. A lot simpler. I can do words really good today. Words are my favorite. I wonder if I actually have, like, that might be too fuzzy. Because the one thing I do really like about, oh, maybe this brush. One thing I like about butterfly wings, oh yeah, that's what I want. They have this beautiful sort of texture to them in, like, in the spots. You'll see what I mean. Or maybe, you know, if you've ever Googled a picture of a butterfly, I'm sure you've probably seen it, but a lot of them have like this very almost velvety sort of texture, it looks like, to them. Alright, this is where we're going to be taking some artistic liberty because these are not quite lining up with the exact number of the little bumpies in the reference photo of the actual butterfly, and we're just going to have to be okay with that. I've already made peace with that. Okay, I do really like this brush for this, actually. I'm very glad that I have this brush. That is one of the things about Clip Studio Paint that I'm excited to use it for, is just the vast, incredible amounts of free resources that you can download for it. Alright, now we are going to block that for transparency, and we're gonna throw, alright, this part is gonna be some trial and error, because what happens in these wings is it looks like it's a base of like this beautiful sort of teal color, and then this darker black sort of bleeds into it at different spots while still showing some of the teal underneath, and that's what I'm going to be trying to do. And we'll see if that ends up working the way that I want it to. It's probably going to be a lot of trial and error and probably a lot of blending. Like, I already don't like, let's see, what? Blots and noise. Okay. Maybe if I temporarily change it to that. That's actually pretty damn close to the effect that I want, so I think we're gonna be doing that a lot. I'm trying to be conscientious of my edges, though, because some of the edges are sharper and some of them are a lot more blended out. Hi, baby. And they all kind of blend downward, but not all the way to the edge. That makes sense. I don't want to actually put the reference up on the screen because I don't actually know if it's like copyright, which is also why I'm kind of trying to deviate a little bit. Like, I know it's just a picture of a butterfly, and like most of the butterflies probably look like that if you took a picture of them, but yeah. Still though. No bug. I know, I'm not snuggling with you. I'm so sorry. She's very upset with me. And, ooh, actually, there's like a little bit of like on this edge where the blue doesn't quite meet all the way. there's like this ridge of the same like base color of the wing. Yeah. Yeah, bug. And then I also want to throw in some slightly darker and greener leaning parts. Because the wings aren't a solid color, technically. And they kind of almost get peachier towards the center here. Yeah, bug. I can't actually tell if she wants out or if she just wants me to pay attention to her. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Hi. She does this when I play Stardew too. She doesn't really like it when I stream because that means I'm not paying attention to her. Okie dokie. Now we're gonna do the other wing, or the other part of the wing. And this one kind of goes like here, like that. And it kind of follows these sections, and then it kind of dips in like that. Like that, approximately. And then there's a lot more of that darker color that comes into play on the top wing. And quite honestly, we might only get to doing the flat colors today, but that's alright. I don't really want to rush it. And I do want to kind of take my time on the pattern when we get to it. The pattern of the outfit. And I want to go in like that. I'm going to blend that ever so slightly in. Like that. Just a little bit. Alright. And then we're going to need to do some cleaning up, but that's okay. I'll do some cleanup around the edges. And this one blends in very nicely with the other one. I don't want that to be quite so harsh of an edge though. There we go, kind of like that. This can just be straight up erased though, because we don't need this color here. But because all of these colors are underneath this one, that's why it, even though it's clipped, it thinks it's also clipping to everything underneath that layer, so it's just weird. And then there's another little patch. I think it's technically... I see where it is technically, but I'm going to change it. And I might actually add... So there's this beautiful pop of red that happens in the body of the butterfly that I'm basing this off of. I think I actually want it to happen right here instead, because I wanted to find a way to incorporate it. I think that's going to be my best bet. I'm going to do a little bit of blendy, a little blendy blend right there. I'm going to hold off on the red until I get this darker color in here. Right, because this gets pretty dark. Like, almost entirely this dark black. Or, well, this dark sort of grayish color. For the blending, I keep forgetting I should probably turn the, what's it called? The alpha lock off, because then otherwise it kind of mixes in white, and that's not necessarily what I want out of that. It almost has this, like, watercolor effect without being watercolor. I mean, and by that I mean without being specifically like a watercolor brush. And I'm really digging it. I'm gonna save because I would be very upset if, God forbid, anything happened. Also, my Wi-Fi is kind of been... My tablet disconnected. That's fun. I was just about to say my Wi-Fi has been wonky, but apparently it's my tablet. Please hold. I drag that back to that screen. There we go. That was weird. I went to save it and it was like, that's too bad. I was saying that my Wi-Fi has sucked the past couple of days. It has been going in and out. And I was hoping that that wouldn't be a problem for stream. And then my computer was like, oh, you thought that was the only thing you had to worry about? Bet. Yeah, bug. And then I gotta worry about sassy cats yelling at me. I'm trying to work on stuff. She's very opinionated. Yeah, bug. And up on the top of this wing, there are a couple of sections where there's like spots of this base color popping out. Like actual spots. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you can actually hear her or if it just sounds like I'm talking to myself. The noise cancellation of my headset is usually pretty good, so it wouldn't surprise me if you can't hear her. Yes, she very much wants attention. Oh good. Well, not good that you can't hear her, because then it does make it just sound like I'm making shit up, but she's very upsetty with me right now. Alright, and then I want to change this to that brush just really quick so I can get the cool texture. I don't know that that's gonna work for the smaller ones. That's okay. There we go. just a little bit more. There we go. And then I'm going to throw in, underneath that layer, I'm going to throw in this red, which I might adjust. We'll see. Oh, let me also change that back to what it normally was, because I will forget to do that later and then be very confused when it doesn't do what I thought it was going to do. Yes. This I'm happy with. I might actually even bump up the saturation. I don't even know that I want to blend it. Maybe just a little bit. Yay. Like that. And then I also want to throw just a little bit. Yeah, bug. I hear you, babe. No, that's too much. I think like that is good. Yes. I'm double checking. When I do that, I'm double checking the color on this monitor versus my tablet, because the tablet tends to be a little bit more saturated. Yes. Do you want out? She might want out. 1 second. I must attend to my cat. I'm back. I think she wanted out, which would make sense. Back to what we were doing. I wanted to add just a little bit more of that darker color in the middle here. Like that. Ooh, yes. I like that a lot. And I think I have an idea for maybe what I want this to kind of do. I don't think that's going to look the way I want it to, but we'll try it. Okay, I do actually like that. So we're going to keep it. What I didn't want to happen, I wanted it to look like it was catching light without it looking shaded, because that's not the vibe I was going for. I'm gonna swap that again just to get like that. Yeah, because what I'm noticing actually in between some of these sections is there is a little bit of the yellow peeking through that I'm gonna blend out pretty well. But it is there. I'm just trying to do it in a way that doesn't lose that texture. And so this is a design that would look just as nice if it was like flat colored. I'm just being extra. There we go. Mostly because I discovered this brush and I really like it. Okay. I think I'm pretty happy with that wing. So we're going to combine the layers, and then we're going to copy and paste, and we're going to transform. And then I'm going to try to line them up. They're not going to be exact because the shawl is not exactly the same. So it's going to be a little bit different. And I am going to have to go in and clean up those areas. And just basically just throw more color in there. Because it's a gradient, I don't want to go in with just flats. Which means I am going to have a little bit to clean up, but that's okay. It is a sacrifice I'm willing to make to get rid of these harsher sort of lines and make it a little bit less obvious. There we go. And then we're going to do the same thing here with the lines that I actually need to turn to multiply so that I can see what the heck they're doing. And these are easy enough to do because for those, all I have to do is extend them. Easy peasy. And they're a slightly different color, but I'm kind of okay with that. Okay. And now I'm going to go in and, well, I don't have to clean that up because I'm probably just going to, no, it's going to be easier. This is exactly how indecisive I am, like, on the regular when I'm working on stuff. Like, this isn't nerves from streaming, this is really just how, this is really just how it be sometimes with how my brain is. But once we're done with the wings, we're going to move on to this sort of shawl situation. And then hopefully I'll be able to pick a damn color for it because I'm realizing that the color I was originally going to go with might not work. But we'll see. We will see. I'm going to save again. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. I can actually delete these colors because I'm not going to be using them anymore. Okay. With what we have now, is that going to work? I think it might. I think it might. There's one way to find out. Well, there's a couple ways, but I'm going to do it this one way. So the base is kind of like this reddish, orangish brown, which I might end up changing the the belt color. I think it needs to be more like that. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up changing the belt color. But, so this fabric has a really lovely, like, goldenrod and orange floral pattern that I'm not going to be able to recreate exactly, and quite frankly don't want to recreate exactly, but I like the vibe of it. So I'm going to try to mirror the vibe. Which sounds like such a fakey bullshit thing, but I truly don't know how else to explain it. Ooh, and you know what? This can go on this layer. Oop. Yeah, okay. And then I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take maybe this color. And I think I want... Yeah, I think that's what I want. Maybe even more of like a mustardy sort of color. Yeah. That's what I wanted. Okay. And then very similar color tones going into the pattern to kind of mirror that. So I'm actually going to try to get a larger zoom of this pattern. Because again, not going to be copying it directly, but I want to make sure that I'm getting the shapes right. And like at least some of the elements kind of in there. And then I'm going to be adding my own kind of spin to it. And welcome to another episode of Shay Does Patterns by Hand. Because they have nothing better to do, I guess. Alright, I'm trying to figure out the best spot to start this in. And I guess it's really just cleaning up more of this because I'm seeing a lot more areas that definitely didn't actually get erased. And it's bothering me. So we're gonna fix it. There we go. And I can also do the same for the layer, the skin layer, where it kind of overlaps with this red, because I actually prefer right now the way that the red is acting as the outline underneath. Because it's on a multiply layer, it's just going to darken everything that's underneath it. Is that the right thing? Oh, I think I just didn't extend the color to the edge. Yep, that's exactly what that was. Okay. Now I pick another row. Hello! Welcome in. I'm glad you could join us. You've joined at the perfect time, where I semi-bullshit a pattern that's really, really elaborate for no good reason. How are you today? How's your how's the I almost hate to ask, but how's the fringe going? Because it's looking gorgeous. You're freaking killing it. Yeah, so the pattern is kind of like a bunch of big flowers mixed in with smaller flowers and like little sprigs of leaves and stuff. Oops. So that's kind of what I'm going with here. I think they're supposed to be like dahlias and marigolds, and I couldn't tell you what the other one's supposed to be based off of. It is my favorite, yes. Making my life more difficult for no good reason is absolutely my favorite thing to do. And also figuring out how patterns in a how patterns in a fabric lay when I don't actually have a legitimate reference for said pattern. Yep, that's me. Yes, bullshitting patterns. Hey, it turned out okay last time. I'm hoping that that same energy carries over to this time. We'll see. If I don't like it, it's on a separate layer and I can just delete it. That being said, we are going to save. I'm going to stretch a little bit, because I realized I haven't really been doing that, and I need to get better at doing that. Okay. Honestly, you know how Dee was talking about color palettes on Color Lovers? They have patterns too that you can play around with. Ooh. I have, because I am a Pinterest bitch, I have a Pinterest board that's just all patterns. And like different types of patterns. This is actually a pattern off of I'm basing it off of a pair of, it's a blouse that's underneath a pair of overalls. That's a very fucking cute, but I didn't want to copy the pattern exactly, of course. So I'm just taking some inspiration from it, of like big pops of yellow mixed in with smaller moments of like this more red orange and kind of like beige color. So like, are these petals gonna make sense? No. Do I care as long as it looks nice? No. Although I should close in more of these, so they're not quite so open like that. All these loopy loops. But I will have to, if you remember the link, Ro, if you could send it to me on Discord, that would be fantastic, because I would love to check that out, actually. I'm a slut for a good pattern. I really want to get better at, like, actual character designing and, like, picking clothes and shit, and, like, designing clothes for characters, which is part of why I started doing adoptable designs. The other part was I just have so many D&D character ideas and no games to play them in. No, this is an adoptable. This is one of the Phaedry race adoptables. This is going to be for the sub-race of the Solar Court, which their imagery is more based off of butterflies. So the Phaedry race is descendants of Archfey. I'm gonna pull up the document because it's been a while since I actually looked at the lore. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing, even though it's not actually like published anywhere, and you can't fact check me yet. But I don't want to be wrong. But basically, there's 3 sub races of the Seelie, Unseelie, and basically no court affiliation. There's the Solar Court, which is based off of the Seelie, the Lunar Court, which is based off of the Unseelie, and then the Wild Phaedry, spelled W-Y-L-D, in which there is no court affiliation. And basically, the Solar Court is designed more for like butterflies. The Lunar Court is more based, like their wings are based more off of moths, and then the Wild Court is based more off of like other sorts of insect wings like dragonflies and bumblebees, but also more elemental designs. So like, I think one of the adoptable designs I was thinking of doing for that one involves wings made out of like the leaves of a tree in the Feywild, so they wouldn't be like your typical colors. They would be like teal and lavender and, you know, seafoam green. Yes. I would love to see Vadima as a Lunar Court Phaedry. And part of the, an optional part of the lineage, regardless of the sub-race that you choose, is the cultural affiliation with masks. That's a whole big thing with the lore. And also, like, aside from the wings, which you get at a higher level as your subrace. Aside from the wings, you also have more, I guess, uncanny features. Maybe not uncanny, but definitely unusual features, like your pupils are always larger than normal, even in a resting state, or heterochromia is very common in Phaedry, in addition to other things like you might have like double heterochromia, where it's 2 different colors in each eye, and then split down the center are also 2 separate colors in each eye. Or you might just straight up have a set of antennae. Like, there's one of the things that I'm really, really happy with in making this homebrew race is how customizable it can be. And like, you can take as much or as little as you want from it. I'm very, very happy with how it turned out, considering it literally just stemmed from I want I want an ASMR but with butterfly wings, and now I have to make it. I need to make lore to supplement that. And then I just made a whole separate race. Okay, we're gonna save that, and then I'm gonna pick, I think, now that I'm looking at it, I might actually adjust the red, but before I do that, I want to swing this over to here and darken that a bit. But yeah, once I have all of the, or at least one of the, let me start over. Once I have at least one example of the race completed, like as an illustration, to add to the PDF as like a splash image, I'm going to be figuring out with my friendo how we want to, like, if this is going to be something that we sell, or if this is just going to be something that can be downloaded wherever on like DM's Guild, or if it's just going to be free and open. Like, we haven't really discussed it. If we do end up selling it, it's not going to be for a like obscene amount of money. I was like, look, okay, I think I want that to be a little bit darker and a little bit less. Yeah, okay. So there's also these like weird little random flowers in between. I think they technically have 5 petals, but they're just kind of blobby. So that's what we're gonna go with. As like an in-between. And then there's a couple of, I think I want to add a couple more bigger flowers, just in a different shape than the main one. Would you give a PDF with this adoptable when you sell it? That seems like a fun thought. I absolutely planned on doing that, yes. So whoever ends up purchasing any of the 3 adoptables that I plan on having as a set, they will get a free PDF of the race with it. Absolutely. I do plan on making one for each sub-race eventually, but I don't want that to be the hang-up of why we don't like end up doing anything with it, you know? So but yeah. I've never, like, made any homebrew content before. And, like, it seems pretty balanced to me. I followed a pretty generic pattern of, like, what I was seeing in other, like, legitimate content. Like from source books and stuff. I just realized this is not lined up correctly. There we go. So like, it's probably fine. I'm not gonna give all the details away, of course, of course. But it's a fun little project that I'm happy to see start to be completed before I get too embroiled in a bunch of other shit that I'm doing. Alright, I think I want... That's not quite what I want. Hold on. I'm gonna try something really quick and see if it does what I want it to do, which it might not. Okay, I think that's what I want it as. Because I basically want to put like little sort of squiggly branchy bits, sort of. Like that. Yeah, kind of like that. There's a reason I'm not like a surface designer, because patterns make my brain hurt. Like, I know how to make them. They just make my brain hurty. Oh, thank you! I am... I am kind of just winging it. Not gonna lie. Like, I started with the little inspiration shirt. And now it's just kind of like, yeah, I'm just gonna add a bunch of random shit that will probably look nice with it. And if it doesn't, I'm gonna just erase it. It's also very, like, this little squiggly stuff that I'm doing is very reminiscent of the other pattern that I did on my tiefling adoptable that I did a while ago. I don't know. I'm a sucker for random foliage patterns. What can I say? I did ask about the poncho. It's looking amazing from what I could see. I love the colors in it. It's gorgeous. I still have so far to go. I had put it down a while. That's fair. It looked like it was a lot. Like, that fringe looks like a bitch to do. I keep doing that, sorry. But it's looking fantastic. But definitely don't forget to take breaks. Breaks are important. I say as somebody who is not good at that and just trying to get better at it. I feel like if by reminding other people to do it, maybe it'll stick with me. There we go. That's the shape I want. I feel like what a lot of people don't realize is a lot of drawing is just making your hand do the correct movements to make what is in your head happen. And that's a lot fucking harder than some people think it is. Also, something that I get a lot is like, oh, is your stuff digital or is it hand drawn? And then I'm like, it's all the same. I know what you mean, but it's all the same. Like, the same hand is making the marks on the page, whether it's a digital page or a, like, canvas. Like, it's still hand-drawn. That's why I love platforms like Twitch, where artists can show, like, hey, this is what it is. Like, this is my process. This is how things do. Oh no! I hope it wasn't my connection, but it might have been. My internet has been very wonky lately. Which is also why I was going to keep the stream fairly short, because I wasn't really sure how gracious the internet gods are going to be to me today, because they haven't been very gracious to me lately at all. I was trying not to push my luck. We're gonna go at least until the pattern is done. Save. Which it is almost, but I think I'm actually gonna change the color of the belt, because I'm not vibing with it now that the other colors are in there. I think I want to add some, like, some extra little spots. I'm sure somebody who actually knows how to, like, make patterns and do surface design and, like, clothing design is looking at this and is, like, cringing because it's not a real pattern. Like, but it's fine. I'm not pretending that I know what I'm doing. I'm being very honest that I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just making it look nice. And if it looks nice, then I'm happy with it. Gonna save. And I think I want one more. As I said, I want this in my life. I'm sure a version of this exists somewhere. At the very least, I can send you, like, the Pinterest reference that I was using for the blouse, like the blouse that this is based off of. And maybe it'll actually say like where it's from and if you can purchase it. I absolutely will do that. Please don't let me forget. Yell at me in the Discord server if too much time goes by and I haven't done that yet after I hop off. I think I want just some little speckies. Man, I got a pair of boots that are very close to the ones that I drew on this character. I'm very excited for them to come in. They were on a big sale because I would never spend the full price that those boots cost on a pair of shoes unless they're really good fucking shoes. I love flower stuff. I had to keep myself from wearing a flower pattern skirt to work tomorrow because it's winter and it seems odd to wear it. No, wear florals whenever the fuck you want. Florals all day, every day. If you wear florals, maybe spring will see it and it'll be here faster. And then it won't be so fucking cold. I wear florals all the damn time. I don't care what season it is. I don't care if anybody says anything about it, which nobody in my life ever has. You wear your florals whenever you damn well please. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Its ankle lengths will be pretty warm. You can also wear leggings underneath it too, if you have a pair of leggings that would go well with it. Or like if you have like a pair of sweater leggings or something like that, that'd be super cute too. I can already tell. Okay, I think what I'm going to do instead of that actually is I'm gonna throw, because what I can tell is happening here is the opacity of the blending made this very thin and it's picking up the red. So there we go. That's fixed. Save. I tend to wear tights. That's fair. I wear a lot of leggings. I think I want to make their hair better looking. More saturated. Oop, not the eyes. Jesus, that was scary. That might be too red. That's too red. I don't want red. I just want saturated. That might be too much. We might have gone too far. No, okay, actually I like that. Yeah, that did look awful. I'm so sorry that you had witnessed that. That was me not paying attention to what's on which layer. Because that's just how I am as a person. I'm going to change out the color of this belt. What am I going to change it to? A different color. Figuring out what layer it's on first. Let's go with definitely darker. Nope. I keep forgetting that it's going to do that. That's annoying. Does that blend in too much? Let me see what like a more black would look. See, I think that's too dark. Let's see how this looks all the way colored in, and then maybe we could just adjust the tone of it. We can go darker if we need to. It's because I didn't have my alpha lock on. That's why. I'm smart. I do like that, actually. We're gonna save. I like that because it's not, it doesn't stand out too much. I think making it darker would make it stand out a little bit too much. And then I want these to be gold, but like a colder sort of gold. Mostly because I don't want them to pop too much. But I also don't want them to look wildly different tone-wise than the shoes themselves. And then I think once we have all of those little details in, I will be calling it a night there because I have not eaten since lunch. And I'm hungry. And that'll probably bring us pretty close to the 2-hour mark. And then the next time I do an art stream, if I end up finishing this one early in the stream, I might end up starting a commission. But we'll see. I have not even sent out any of the reply emails yet because I have not had the chance to yet between work and looking at houses and stuff like that after work. I literally, we got home and I got home like with 15 minutes to spare. And I ate 2 snickerdoodles and downed a bottle of water and booted up my computer. I do want these shoelaces to be a different color, so we're gonna do that. Want them just a little bit darker. Almost there. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm very pleased with how the wings came out on this. I knew that was going to be the trickiest part. We're gonna save. Yeah. Okay. I think that's going to do it for me today, folks. Thank you so very much for joining me for today's stream. I really appreciate it. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. As a reminder, I'm not going to be having a Wednesday stream this week because it is my husband's birthday and I'm going to be hanging out with him all day and spending time with him. But I might try to do a stream to make up for it either Friday or Sunday. I might end up doing the first studio Sunday of the year. We'll see how my schedule ends up working out. But before I go, I'm going to just drop the usual links in chat once I can find my mouse again. You can always find all of my updates on my Twitter, between my streaming updates and my commission updates and stuff like that. If you like what you see and you want to throw me a coffee as a token of your appreciation, or if you want to subscribe to get monthly benefits, it is never expected but always appreciated. I appreciate your support no matter what. And my commissions have recently closed for this round, but all of my information can be found there. Even if my commissions are closed, my inbox is always open. You can feel free to send over a project that you have in mind, and I'm more than happy to provide you with a quote. I'm going to be trying to get another round of commissions in towards the late spring, early summer time frame. So if you missed out on this round, or if you did not make either the queue or the wait list, there's always next time. That being said, thank you all again very much. I super appreciate you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye.